Hey everybody, it's Monday, January 25th, 2021. Let's talk about Ray Dalio and his warning. And this is a big warning. And we've been talking about very similar things on what he is warning about. And we like to look at investors and what the big money people say. Ray Dalio is one of the biggest hedge fund managers in the world. He's also a philanthropist. But we look at the big money people as kind of canaries in the coal mine or people to kind of guide us. Now, we don't just look at that. Of course, we use our own common sense. We look at the numbers. We look at the data. But common sense would have to tell most people. Unfortunately, a lot of people still are clueless. But common sense would tell most people this country and the world is headed in a very dark direction. Now, a lot of people are happy because they say a new administration is going to fix everything. I say not so fast. Continue to prepare. The division, the unrest, the left versus right is getting worse. And there's just a lot of people out there that are blinded by the left-right paradigm. And people are letting politics, get really under their skin, and it's not allowing them to see clearly. So let's talk about what Ray Dalio is saying. We're also going to touch on some channel topic information about what some people are saying about what I'm saying. Some people are kind of criticizing some of my views and some of my points. But let's start here with Ray Dalio. Okay, now just recently Dalio took to Twitter and basically a tweet storm or a series of tweets, and he said, quote, "Back in February, I said I wanted a president who could bring together our country to face challenges in a more united and less divisive way. I wanted someone who would unite people, an example, one who does not view themselves as the leader of the winning side, imposing policies on the other side would find intolerable." Right? And he continues. Here's where it gets kind of serious. "I believe we are on the brink of a terrible civil war. We're at an inflection point between entering a type of hell of fighting or pulling back to work together for peace and prosperity." All right, so I'm going to go ahead and link to this, but here's where it gets into the financial and economic aspect of it here. Our country is still in a terrible financial state and terribly divided. I will monitor how those good intentions are turning into good actions and keep you posted. So he's talking about the new administration, and he's talking about the divisiveness, but he's also talking about the financial state that we're in, because the worse that people are financially, the worse off they are financially, then the worse things are going to be socially, and people are going to be very upset when they're losing their homes. And I've pointed out over the months since since we've witnessed this chaos kind of unfold in the United States, I pointed out that I think a lot of this is financial. People feel the wealth divide, the wealth gap. People feel like the fat cats get away with everything, and the little guy gets crushed, gets put out of business. People coming out of school can't afford a home unless they take on huge amounts of debt. Then they lose their jobs because of the forced shutdowns and so forth. So people are feeling this, and it's going to be displayed in different ways. A lot of people feel it is political. They feel that their guy is going to fix it and the other guy caused this, this whole left-right paradigm again. But I believe that a huge portion of this, which is being overlooked, is the financial aspect of it. That's why I wanted to highlight what Mr. Dalio is saying here. Okay? And I think as well as I think this is all contrived. I think this is all a plot to divide people. That way people do not blame the leaders. That way they don't blame, well, they're going to blame the puppet leaders, I should say, but they're not going to blame the real leaders, the architects of the system. All right, so this brings us to our next discussion, our next topic. Where do I stand? Well, I don't support any type of violence at all, but I just frequently point out on this channel that I see where the frustration is coming from. I'm hoping there's going to be peaceful ways that all this can be resolved, but people are upset. All right, and I've said this. Can you imagine how much worse this is going to get when the assistance programs, when the payouts stop, or when hyperinflation hits because of so much money being pumped into the system and so little production is happening that prices are going to skyrocket, right? Either way, it is not going to be a good outcome. And that's why I'm looking to move out to the country. I'm looking to move out to the mountains. Not right now. There's a lot of things on my plate, but eventually I think if you're in the city, it's going to be really, really dangerous. We have so many people in this country that are dependent on payouts and handouts that it could get real dangerous. Combine that with the finger pointing. All right, so now let's touch on some other, I guess, comments, some negative feedback that I've received. There are a small group of people out there that view this channel and comment. Most of you know what's going on. Most of you know my stance here and how things work. But there's a small fraction of people that comment, kind of some negative comments, saying, oh, JJ, he's cold-hearted. He wants people to lose their homes. He says that we shouldn't have rent moratoriums or eviction moratoriums. And he doesn't think that we should hand out financial assistance, right? I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that if you don't allow prices to correct, if you don't allow the free market to operate, you're going to need more and more and more assistance handed out to the population. To fix the problem, to make it where no one needs assistance, is you allow prices to adjust. And then the market fixes all the problems, right? When people can't afford something, prices should drop. It's pretty simple. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's a fruit stand, or let's say a fruit store, maybe a health food store. They sell fruits and vegetables. They sell blueberries. And the store says, okay, all males are going to get free blueberries. Free blueberries for all the males. Females, they still have to pay for the blueberries. All right, so now what happens is you've got roughly half the population, the males, they get the free blueberries. So the blueberries are flying off the shelves. Why? Because they're free. And that creates a shortage. That creates scarcity. So now the people that have to pay for it, the females in this situation, this example, they have to pay more. And there's such a shortage because the blueberries, you can't find them now because so many males are coming in to get the free blueberries. They're having to pay twice as much, 3 times as much, 4 times as much for the blueberries. So now a little carton of blueberries is like $40 because there's such a scarcity. Why? Because half the population gets it for free. Okay? Now that's, I think, a good analogy. You can put that anywhere you want in the economy, right? When things are handed out for free, well, prices are going to be distorted, right? It should be based on supply and demand. And when you start handing out freebies and assistance, then prices are going to be way out of whack. And it hurts the people that actually work and have to pay for things out of their own pockets. You see what I'm saying? All right, and that goes for all types of assistance. It doesn't mean I'm cold-hearted. See, we don't want anyone to be homeless. We don't want anyone to be without an affordable roof over their head. And that's why you need to let the free market fix these problems, right? So this is all out of love. Everything we talked about is about love solutions. Now, unfortunately, our economy is controlled and manipulated by people that think they know best. And this is a problem, and that's the cause of the problem. But they don't want to be identified as the cause of the problem. So they're causing disruptions, division, finger pointing. Okay, but this channel, myself, and the message that we put out there is about fixing these problems. And unfortunately, because our economy is manipulated by these people, there's not a lot of solutions. They're certainly not discussing any solutions themselves. So what we have to do is protect ourselves against this vicious, wicked system. And yes, you can actually profit from it if you know where to invest at the right time. All right, so that's the message. Let me know what you think about Ray Dalio. Is there going to be a civil war in this country? We're going to be torn apart, political, civil unrest. We all need to put up razor wire fences around our homes. I mean, you let me know. Thanks everybody for watching. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared. Bye for now. Peace.